What's going on, everybody? Pokewings back with a vlog. My trip back over to City Dayton, and it is arguably one of my best shows ever, and you will pretty much see at basically around the middle of this video throughout that you'll see some really awesome pickups, especially for Sunday. So I blended everything together so it's like all in one straight shot. So there's like no in-between area for the video. But with that being said, let's get to the first transaction already in progress.
Starting out strong, we did a trade plus $10 cash on top, and they're getting the Friends of Galar, and that was the immediate trade for what was right here. And you can see the SAR Gata, the promo Pikachu, or not promo, but from Celebrations, Surfing Pikachu V, and then Flat Fee. And then they got some of the stuff from the Dollar Binder, the Charmeleon, I believe that one is from Generations, I could be wrong. And then from, we're starting to do Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering stuff. And this was pretty much the 50 cents, so again, $10 on top. Alright, I was kind of surprised to see that it took a bit to sell it off, but we sold off the Cynthia's Garchomp from Destined Rivals, and this one's probably one of the best SIRs in the set, and it originally was at $225 when I had it for sale, but we saw it was like $201, so I dropped it down to $200. Selling off the Whale Lord from Journey Together, the illustration rare, and it's going away for $8. So this is a very interesting trade. They didn't want to be on camera, but they are a subscriber. Thank you very much. You know who you are. And they saw the Burger King promos. These I've been trying to get more of, but they haven't come around as often. But what they had here was a first ed Beedrill from, it was the Holland research, and from 2005. I don't ever see these very often, but condition-wise as MP, it's kind of hard to see on the condition on there, but just trust me, it is. But it was like 12 on trade on that, and then they owed us 15 altogether for that. Thanks for the deal. All right, couple of deals that we did. I'll get to those later, but the Pokeball Sylveon from Prismatics, the promo Zard EX, and then, of course, I forget where this Dragonite is from. And then this was at 17 for the Tatsugiri, but we dropped it down to 15. So we did a deal for 25 for all four. So we are a bit behind on updates for pretty much stuff that had been bought, but I'll go through this stuff in just a second. But this was from a little bit earlier, but more like modern stuff that we ended up snagging. And this deal right here was, I believe, 85. So probably the best one was the Psyduck from Destined Rivals, but aside from that, Articuno, because we can't keep these in stock, and then of course the gold Crobat was the other big one, and then, well, Spindops, because I didn't really have that in the binder. This, also sorry for the sniffles, I'm a little bit recovering from allergies, but I'm still there. But this was 246, I believe, was the total amount, because the guy couldn't figure out on trades, and he was one of our regulars. But there's like stuff from Celebrations, because we always need extras of those. A couple of full art trainers, because these are popular. The Clive, because we've had people asking about. The Iono, this one was probably second most expensive for the set, because I don't believe Beauty is even worth much. And then probably some of the most sought after ones, there's the Clunkter. This one obviously is very popular. The Nidoking EX from Destined Rivals, and then the Sylveon V, because we have people asking for, and then Legendary Treasures, Mew, because these are always real popular. And then we, of course, snagged some sealed Mewtwo promos, so altogether we spent quite a bit, if you can see. So these have been selling very good today, but the probably second Lost Origins pack that I'm selling, and then they are picking up the Gyarados EX, really played, but altogether for 60. It's been busy for the past hour, but quickly selling off the Dindy. I still have a hard time pronouncing, and then Espeon promo, Daily Bird for, I think, Aquapolis, I could be wrong, and then Reverse Hollow Raichu, altogether originally 27, but I dropped it down to 25. Just did a quick buy. This I couldn't figure out for what the price is, because it wasn't really showing up, but there's a couple of EXs, can't remember which set these were from, and that actually might be Evolutions, I could be wrong. Trainer Galleries, and then Wooloo, but we gave them 20 for all of it. I forgot to hit record on it, but so far did pretty good, but I'm tapped out on cash. And both of the 151 stuff, Blooming Waters especially, and then the 5-pack bundle, basically ended up giving him around 190 for both. And I would have bought the other one, but I just didn't have enough. So overall, really good deal. I forgot to hit record on this, but we did end up buying one of the booster bundles for 151 for about 60 is what we offered it for them, and they came back around, asked a few other people, but they accepted our offer. So definitely 151 kind of day.
Glare is very bad, and I had to switch off the mic because it was dead, but they are getting that Mew and the Vaporeon this week. Just got in earlier, and they're giving us $10, and we are taking in a, I guess you could say, full art VMAX for Espeon, Soror, Ira, Illustration Rare, Garchomp VX, Regigigas V-Star, and then Evolutions Charizard. So again, $10 on top.
Young gentleman brought some really good stuff in his binder. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to the exact amount from earlier, so we dwindled it down to a couple of tags. The Lucario and Melmetal. This one is one of my personal favorites. And then the Machamp and Marshadow. And then the Raikou V, this one's from Crown Zenith, I believe, and they are getting our Sylveon, and we pretty much owe them $12 or $17 on top, excuse me. Same family, they came and saw more stuff. They wanted the Vaporeon Pokeball from Prismatics, and then the sealed Prismatics ETB promo with Eevee. And they brought in the reverse foil Meryl. This one I don't ever see very often, and it goes for a decent amount, like $5. And then the Meloetta, I believe this is from the same set that had the Arceus and I think Mew, so I owed them $10 on top. And not long after that family sale, the Mew from 151's going away for $15. So was able to secure off this right here. Brandon, your card is now officially gone, and it took maybe about 2 months, but finally someone's getting it. We were agreed right around 205, basically just because of the price alone, and then they were fine with that, so around 245 for the pair. So just ended up picking up a green binder from one of my regulars, and they ended up basically wanting it over 100, but there wasn't really much that I saw immediately on it, so we ended up offering about 95, and there was enough to be able to recoup on it, so overall it was a good pickup. And not long after that deal that we did on the binder, we just ended up selling our Celebrations ETB. This thing has been going up, so pretty much we sold it basically $5 off for $220. Alright, doing a quick sale of the PSA 9 Surfing Pikachu Black Star promo, PSA 10 Charizard V, and then the Pristine 10 Gengar. And going originally, this was at 50, but I saw it had dropped down, but we agreed on 155 for the 3. Just did another quick sale. The full art Charizard EX is going away for 23. Alright, this is probably going to be the biggest pickup of the entire weekend, but all PSA 10s, the Mew from Crown Zenith, Cosmic Eclipse, this is like probably one of my favorite illustrations I have not seen in a while. Pikachu featuring same character as well, and then the SAR Celebi altogether for 623, so I believe that's the correct estimate. Did another quick trade, pretty much everything here. The Articuno EX from Plasma, I believe is what the set was, the full art Kangaskhan EX Radiant Zard, and then a couple of Generations Charmeleon and Charmanders. We haven't had the Charmander before. Reverse foil Pikachu, and then Captain, well, not the Captain Pikachu, but one of them. And they are getting our gold EX Dragonite, and then the Houndoom, I believe, from Genesis or Discovery, but either way, it was an equal trade for all that. We did another trade slash cash deal. It's really big bills here, and they're getting 2 packs from Paradox Rift, Scarlet Violet base, a couple of the dollar binder stuff, and then the $2 Absol Hollow, and we are getting their Skyla trainer illustration, and then a full art Absol EX. Thanks for the deal.
So this might end up being probably the best weekend that I've done for like any past show that I've actually vended at, but this was really good for both pickups and sales. I think I remember the final amount was almost $1,200 for the full weekend. So percentage-wise, that's almost like $300 that I did, and I'm pretty happy. The downside, unfortunately, I forgot to put the money to the side to deposit for later, and unfortunately, I'm down about $167, but honestly, I'm fine with that. I can recoup it for the next show, which is going to be at Jubal's. That's in about next weekend from this recording. But thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you to anybody who I met this past weekend and basically checked out the channel from there. But love you. I'm going to go ahead and get going because look at how bad it is in that direction. So before I get swept up by a hurricane, I'll see you next time. And as always, you know how we end these videos. Stay strong, stay positive, and of course, love ya. Have a good one.